Hello everyone and welcome to the Wizard Engineer. In today's video, we are going to build our final project as promised in our first video of our Vue free course. We already talked about Vue Option API, Vue Composition API, but also we learned how to use Vue plus TypeScript. And also we learned how to manage state within our Vue free app. We already acquired the knowledge required in order to build a real-world Vue free app. And in this video, I'm gonna do my best to explain everything as possible because we're gonna cover complex stuff. And then guys, you have to make sure you follow this video because in the next video, we're gonna build a real world app. You need to practice in order to be comfortable. So that you're going to follow the next video and you're comfortable, you already know Vue. And we are going to build it in Laravel 11. We are going to use Laravel, Reverb, and Vue. And also, guys, I'd like to tell you to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already and smash the like button. Alright, guys, now you can see I'm on the homepage of our blog app that we're going to build throughout this video. And then, guys, actually, I have 4 posts on my homepage. I have the possibility to click on a single post and see the details of a single post. You can see right now we're on a single post page, and then we just display the content of a single post. What is Vue Writer? And also you can see right here, guys, I use Vue CkEditor to underline our text or even add space between paragraph. We are going to use Vue CkEditor for that. And also when I click on the back home button, I can move to the home page of our blog app. And also we're gonna have the login page where the user can enter and provide his email and password, and so that they are going to redirect him to the admin area of our blog app. And also the user, if he doesn't have an account, he can register, he can provide his name, email, and password. And also we have the admin area. You can see right now I'm on the CreatePost page. A user can enter on this interface, provide the title of a post and the post contents. And then we have the article page where we are going to display a list of created posts. A user can have the possibility to upload an image for a post, edit a post, and also he can delete a post. We are going to use Vue Suite Alert to get this pop-up. If I click on yes, I'm gonna delete a post or cancel. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's what we're gonna build. And also a user can have the possibility to search for a post. What is Vue Writer? And then, guys, our app has 2 backends. If you are a Node.js developer, you can go pick it out a Node.js backend. I'm gonna put the link down in the description. You can see Vue course final project for Node.js server, and I've already documented all endpoints. Create user endpoints. You're going to see right here, we are going to use /users, the request body. If you need to create a user, you're going to send the name, email, and password. If you need to log in a user, you're going to send email and password. But also we got the response body. When a user logged in, they return a logged in user plus is token, because we are going to use the token in order to get access to protected resource. If you're not just developer, you're going to clone this backend right here, Node Final Projects. Or if you're a Laravel developer, you're going to clone this backend right here. All endpoints are documented. Now we're gonna go at Vue.js.org website, and then, guys, again we are going to initialize a Vue free project. We are typing npm create Vue lattice, and guys, along the installation process, you need to select TypeScript, Pineer for state management, Vue Writer for navigation, Prettier for code quality, and ESLint for code formatting. I think you're going to select this package, guys. These packages are crucial. Don't forget to select them to install them. And also we are going to use other packages, external packages like Vue validates core to validate our inputs, Vue toast notification add next. We are going to install also Vue CkEditor, Vue Suite Alert 2, and also you're going to use Bootstrap, or you can use a CSS framework that you're comfortable with. You can see here I've already initialized my project. Or you're going to go at my GitHub, and then you're going to clone this project. You're going to clone this project, yeah, and then you're going to tap npm install, and then you're going to have a view-free project, a project that is well initialized on your computer. Or you can go on Google and tap View Suite Alert. You're going to land on npmjs.com, and then you're going to install this. You're going to go again at Bootstrap and download Bootstrap. You get into the download menu, and also you're going to tap View Validate on Google Engine, and then you're going to land on this page and tap this command in order to install View Validate for validating our inputs. And also you're going to tap View CkEditor on Google again, and then you're going to land on this page, and then you're going to install View CkEditor. Alright guys, now we're gonna run our project by tapping npm run dev command. And then guys, if we get into the source folder, you're going to see right now we have main.ts instead of main.js when we were working with JavaScript. And then you can see they have imported Pinia. They've already added Pinia instance to Vue instance, but also Vue router when we initialize a Vue-free project. And if we select them, they just add them to a Vue instance. And also guys, I'm going to import Bootstrap because right here, if we get into the browser, you're going to see right now we have a landing page, a default landing page, which can with a brand new Vue-free project. And then I'm gonna remove it. And also I'm going to import Bootstrap because I've already downloaded it, and import bootstrap.main.css. And then I'm gonna copy the content and paste it within my asset folder. I'm gonna tap bootstrap.main.css. We already learned that within the asset folder is where we register all our assets. And then I'm gonna remove the base.css and main.css file. And then I'm gonna get into the main.js file and import bootstrap.main.css. And then you can see within the views folder, guys, we have about view.view and home view.view. We are going to delete all these pages, and we are going to creating our pages that is going to related to our blog app. I'm gonna create first a folder. I'm gonna name it off, where we are going to put all our pages related to the off page, like register and login. I'm gonna create another folder and I'll name it blog. It is going to have two pages. The home page, it is going to allow us to display a list of posts, but also we can see the details of a single post. This is the blog, but also we're gonna have the admin folder where we are going to put all our pages related to the admin area. I'm gonna start with the off pages, login and register. And the off page is going to have the entry point. I'm gonna name it off page. It is going to be the entry point for the login page and the register page. And also I'm gonna create also the register page. And then I've already prepared a boilerplate for the off page. This is the boilerplate, and that I'm gonna copy. And within the off page, right here, I'm gonna pass here first the template and then press the boilerplate. And then right here, I'm going to add here a script tag. And then I'm gonna pass the length. It is going to be TS because we are working with Vue plus TypeScript, and set up a attribute to tell Vue that we are going to use Vue Composition API. And also I'm gonna import router view from Vue router. Import, I'm gonna pass here import router view from Vue router like this. And then guys, we are going to register all this page, the off page, within the router. And then right here, we're gonna get into the router, and we are going to remove the home view page and also the about page. And right here, we're gonna use dynamic import. Right here, I'm gonna pass here login, and then right here, the name, it is going to be login. And it is going to be, we are going to load right here the entry point, but we are using dynamic import. Don't forget to use dynamic import when we are working with Vue in order to improve the performance of your Vue app. And then right here, I'm gonna get into the views folder, and then within the views folder, I'm gonna get into the O folder. off, right here slash off, and then I'm gonna pass here the off page because it is going to be the entry point for the login page and the register page. And it is going to have children pages, and children pages are going to be the login. Right here, I'm gonna pass here an array, and then I'm gonna copy this stuff, and then person, I need to load right here the login page, and then right here I need to load the login page, but also I need to load also the register page right here. Yeah, like this. I'm gonna pass here register page, and right here I'm gonna pass here register for the path and for the name register. And then guys, we are going to press within the login page some content, a template. I'm gonna pass here an h, a div. Let me pass here div, and within the div I'm gonna pass h1. I'm gonna pass here login page, and then I'm gonna copy the content and paste in within the register page, and name here register page to test if everything it is working pretty well as expected. And then I'm gonna get into the browser and try to refresh. And you can see right here we have a you did it came with you. I think it is within the app.view file. And then you can see here right here guys, we have some content. We got the header tag and we need to remove it above the writer view built-in component. And we need to remove it, and then we're going to tap within the URL /login, so that we are going to land on the login page. And you can see right now we're on the login page. And also we are going to tap register to move to the register page. You can see that everything it is working pretty well. And then we are going to create our form. And again, I have a boilerplate for that. You're going to copy this design. Yeah, this design guys. And then I'm gonna paste in within the register page right here. I'm gonna pass here this design, and then right here you can see we are using Bootstrap, and right here I need to pass here the template. I need to wrap it first within a column right here. You can see I'm getting an error, and then I'm gonna pass here a content class row. I'm gonna put it within a row, and then right here you can see right here I'm getting an error. Let me remove it. Let me do this. I'm getting an error because I just enclosed the class within the text. I was passing this class within the text attributes. And again, I'm gonna open, and you can see right now we are getting a register page. And then we're going to copy the same content and create the login page. Also, I'm gonna copy the same content and move within the login page, and then I'm gonna paste in, and I'm gonna remove the name and email, the name only, and then change the title right here. I'm gonna pass here login, because if I click here on the login into your account, we can move to the register page. Right here, I'm gonna pass here register. I'm using router link. We already talked about all this stuff, guys. Here, if I'm getting to the login page, you can see right here I got the router link, a component, router link, and then it just points to the register page, to the login page. I'm gonna change to the register, and then right here I'm gonna pass here register. And then when we are going to click on the register, you can see register, we can move to the register page. Alright guys, now we need to add validation to our register form. If you haven't downloaded the view validate package, you need to copy this command. Yeah, npm install view validate. You need to copy it. And then guys, once you copy it, you need to import these two lines. We are going to use view validate composable, and we are going to import the required and email attributes. And then we are going to paste within our script tag. We are going to create the script tag first above the template tag within the register page. We are going to pass here the script, and then we are going to pass here the length ts and setup attributes. And also we are going to paste above the use, validate, and require an email attributes. And then guys, we are going to use this. We are going to create a constant. And then this constant, it is going to be a view. We are going to store in view validate. We are going to do this. We are going to create right here a constant right here above. Let me remove this space, and then we're going to do const v. You're going to pass here dollar, and then we are going to use this composable use view validate, and then like this guys, and then we need to create a rules object, and then we are going to copy it. It is right here on the doc, and I'm gonna copy it. I have the rules object right here. Within the rules object, we need to pass in our inputs. Right here, I'm gonna pass first here the rules object and then comment it first, because we haven't yet created the reactive property for our form, and we are going to use ref to create a reactive property. And then right here, I'm gonna create another variable, and I'm gonna pass here const register. I'm gonna name it register inputs. And then this register input, I'm gonna assign it the ref function to create reactive property. And here within the off folder, I'm gonna create another folder. I'm gonna pass here actions. And within the actions folder, I'm gonna create an action. We're gonna say create user.ts. And then within it, I'm gonna define an interface for our reactive property. And then I'm gonna export it. I'm gonna pass here export interface I register inputs, and it is going to have three fields. The name, it is going to be a string, email a string, and password a string. And then we are going to type our ref function. I'm gonna pass here the I register input interface and tap our register input, so that we are going to have only the name, email, and password within our register input reactive property. And right here, guys, we need to use vmodel directive in order to bind our register input to our fields. And then I'm pass here vmodel. Right here, I'm gonna pass here vmodel directive, and then I'm pass here register input that name like this, and then we are going to copy the vmodel directive and add it to the email and password. Pass here register that email and register that password to get access to the password field. And then right here, guys, I'm gonna uncomment now the rules objects. And then right here, I'm gonna pass the fields that I got within the register input variable. I'm gonna pass here the name, it is going to be required, the email, it is going to be required, and it is going to be a type of email. But also we got the password, it is going to be required. I'm gonna copy this and then paste the password right here, it is going to be required. Yeah, like this. The next thing we have to do, we need to use the validation. We are going to pass it to the use validate function composable right here like this. We are going to copy this. It takes two parameters, the rules and the state. The state, it is the inputs. I'm gonna copy this. I think we already copied it right here. We have it. We have the use validate composable. You can see right here, it takes two inputs, the rules and the state. The state, it is the reactive property. Yeah, you can see right here. We're gonna pass it the register input that value right here. Just that value like this. And then guys, I need to remove it. And then guys, we are going to create a function. Let me just format first my page. We're going to create a function, an asynchronous function. It is going to create a user. I'm gonna pass here create user. Let me pass register user, and then we are going to create a constant result where we are going to store the results of the validation, and then we are going to use v this variable $, that value, that validate, like this. And then yeah, like this, we need to pass first this $, that validate. You can see when we over this validate function, you can see it returns a promise of a boolean value. We are going to await for the validation to finish in order to continue. And then guys, you are going to check if the validation it fails. We are going to return undefined, like this, return undefined. And if it doesn't fail, we are going to process the request. We are going to pass here the request right here. Let's say the request create user. You're going to pass here a request if the validation doesn't fail. And then here we are going to call this function on the form, register user. We are going to pass it to the form. We are going to use at that submit event that prevent defaults. And then we just call our function. Now, the next things to do is to add this code right here in order to display the validation message. We are going to copy this code right here, and then we are going to paste it above the name input here, right here. And then right here, guys, we are going to pass right here the class, the class right here, the class of form group. And we are going to pass right here register input. Let me pass here first our bootstrap class to the input. And then right here, I'm going to pass here the register input that name. We are going to remove this. Yeah. And then we just added we are going to display the validation message for the name inputs only. Let me first show you. And here you can see we got an input, a div. It is a class of input errors, where we are going to display the errors of these inputs. Let's first try it within the browser. If I get into the browser, guys, let me go to the register page and refresh. It seems we are getting an error. Let me get into the console, and you're going to see we have an error, errors, cannot read properties of undefined reading errors. And it seems we should pass right here, we should pass right here the name v to, we are getting access to this variable right here, $, and then we need to get access to the name here, name. We need to pass here $, that name, that errors, that length, and then right here the name, and that is, guys. And then let's try to test. Let me refresh. Yeah, you can see the error disappear within the console. And then when we click on register, you can see we got the validation a message value it is required. We need to provide the name. And then right here, I'm going to pass first here the label of the input. I'm going to pass here the label. And then I'm going to create a CSS style tag and add a CSS code for this class, input errors. I'm going to pass here input errors like this, and then I'm going to pass here color red. You can see the validation message is going to take the color of red. Pass here, let me check. We just pass here input errors. And here within the star tag, I'm going to pass here input errors, color red. Yeah, let's refresh. Yeah, when I click on the register button, you can see right now we got the color, the validation color, it is red. Value, it is required. And again, we are going to use the same input for other input. I'm going to copy the same tag right here, and then we are going to use the same div, and then we are going to modify it. I'm going to pass here this tag, and I paste it above under the name input, and then I'm going to remove for the email, because we are going to modify and pass here $.email, and here v.email, and here email. And for the label, we need to change it to email like this, so that we are going to display the validation error for the email input, but also we need to copy it for the password too, and pass here password, and here password, and for the vmodel directive password, and right here I'm gonna pass here password too, and remove this div. And then let's try it again. Yeah, let me close the console, and if I click again on the register button, you can see the value it is required for the name, email, but also for the password. If I pass an invalid email, I pass here email, you can see value it is not a valid email address. If I pass email at gmail.com, and then the validation pass for this email inputs. And guys, we need now to format. We are going to refactor. We are going to refactor this div right here. You can see that this is a huge code. If we continue like that, we are going to be unable to handle our project. We are going to create a component for that. And I'm not getting to the component folder. Within the component folder right here, I'm going to create a base component. I'm going to name it error. And then I'm gonna delete first the icons folder and the hello world components within the component folder. Let me get rid of all of these components. And then I'm gonna create another component. I'm gonna name it error.view. What is the goal of this component? The goal of this component, when we are going to call it, we are going to do this error. We are going to pass it, and then we are going to wrap in this input. It is going to be like this. We are going to pass here the input, and then you can see right now we have a clean code. We doesn't repeat ourselves. And then right here we're gonna pass it an attribute. It is going to be label like this, and then we can just pass over here the name of the label. That is the goal of this error component. And then I'm gonna copy this content and paste it in within the error component, error.view, and then create a template tag. And then above it, first I'm gonna create a script tag, and then pass here the length. It is ts, and set up attributes. And we are going to use define prop macro to define properties for a component, properties or props for a component. I'm gonna pass here define props, and then I'm gonna pass here props that our error component it is going to have. The first one, it is going to be label, and the label it is going to be a string. And then right here I'm gonna pass here the label, yeah, like this. And then it is going to have two other things. Right here you can see it is going to have an input. This input, it is going to be a slot. We already talked about it, about a slot when we talked about components in a video. A slot, it is like a placeholder. It is like this. This slot, it is represented by this input right here. Yeah, a slot, it is represented by this input right here. When we are going to call the error component, we are going to do error, and then we are going to pass in the input. And then right here, guys, we are going to pass here the input, and then you're going to notice right here, guys, that we need to pass something here. You're going to see right here, we are going to pass it an array of errors. Right here you can see errors, v dot errors. It is an array. We are going to name it errors, and then if we go within our register page and we over these errors right here. When we over the v dollar dot email dot error dollar errors, you can see TypeScript infers it to be a type of error object array. And then I'm gonna copy it and move within the error component and paste it right here, and import this type from view validate. And then right here I'm gonna pass here errors like this, and then right here it is errors. I'm gonna pass here e in lowercase errors, like this, guys, and then we are going to iterate through this array of errors in order to display errors. And then right here I'm going to pass here errors like this. And then when we are going to call our component, we're going to pass it these errors. Let me show you. Here you can see right here we just pass it a label. It is a type of string, and then I pass here errors, and then we are going to pass it this line. This we are going to pass it errors dot name like this. It is an array like this, errors like this. You can see errors v dollar dot name dot errors. And then if we comment this section right here, and then we go within the browser, and then we click on register. First of all, we need to import these components. We are going to import the error components. We are going to do import ads. We're going to get into within the component folder, and then we're going to import the error component, the view, and we just pass it right here, error component. And then guys, we are going to refresh again our register page, and again we are getting an error. Let me check within the error components. Within the error components, if it doesn't have any issue, and I think everything it is clear. Let me refresh again. Let me see which kind of error we are getting within the console. Let me refresh. And again, it seems that we are getting an error. You can see right here within the app, within the app component. Let me zoom a little bit so that you can see within the app component we are importing the hello world view. And because we have deleted when we have started creating the error component, we're going to get into the app view, and then we are going to delete these components because it doesn't exist anymore, and we are going to remove it. And then we are going to refresh again our register page, and then everything it is working again. And then when we are going to click on the register, you can see we just display our validation message for the name inputs. And I'm not getting to again within the register page, and then I'm gonna copy the content, the style tag, and move it in the error components. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna use the error components for the email. I'm gonna copy this and then use the error component for the email and password. And you can see that right now we have a code which is clean, which is nice, guys. I'm gonna pass here email, and here email, and right here email for the label. But also we need to do the same thing for the password. Pass here the password, and password right here, and then I'm gonna add an attribute type, and I say here the type is going to be a type of password, and then I'm gonna remove all this stuff. And then guys, you can see that we have a code which is clean and maintainable. Now we need to do the same thing for the login page. When I click on register, and it should provide the name, email, and password. Yeah, everything is working as expected. Now we need to move to the login page, and again I'm gonna use the same component within the I'm gonna copy this code right here, all this stuff right here, and move it within the login page. I'm gonna copy all this and get into the login page, and then paste it above the template tag. Yeah, like this. Now within the actions folder, we're going to create another action, login user.ts. It is going to have an interface of two inputs. Then the email and password, I'm gonna remove it and change the name of the interface to login input interface. And then I'm gonna get into the login page and import this interface. I'm gonna remove this one right here. I'm gonna import the login input interface from this action, from the login user action. Here I just name it, pass it login user like this. And then we should use this interface within the login page. Yeah, I just import it. Let me import it like this. and then we need to remove the name, and right here the name within the rules object, and then right here we're going to pass here login user, and right here we're going to pass here, we need to import now this style that we got within the register. We need to import the email and password, and then we are going to copy it within the login page. And then right here, I'm going to pass here this component, the error component. We already import it. It is right here. And then we can test if everything it is working. I'm going to copy this function. I need to bind it to the form tag. I'm going to pass here at that submit, submit, that prevent default, and then assign it the login user function. And then we need to move within the login page. Yeah, let me refresh the register page and move to the login page, and then remove the email. Yeah, when I click on the register, we should name it login. On the login page, we're going to name it login right here. I'm gonna pass here login. Yeah, and then when I click on the login button, you can see we are displaying the validation error for each input. If I pass here email, you can see right now the display and message value is not a valid email, email.gmail.com, a valid email, the error disappear, and so on. Yeah, when I click on login again, it seems that we doesn't have the validation for the password field. I'm not check it again, and right now we're gonna add right here email. Also right here we should add right here, and here password. It seems that we have an error also within the register page because we do copy paste, and right here we are going to change. Yeah, guys, you're going to follow, you're going to copy the code. You need to understand how everything it is working, and again, yeah, everything it is working. Now let's interacting with our Laravel or Node.js server. And here I'm gonna pick one backend. I'm gonna interact with a Laravel backend. And right here you can see this is the API documentation of a Node.js server. And in order to run this project within your computer, you need to follow these steps right here. Number one, clone the repo. Number two, type npm command, and number three, npm run start. And then we are going to, as request body, we are going to send the name, email, password to create a user. We are going to hit the /users endpoint, and the response body, it is returning the created user and the message user created. And this API documentation, it is the same as for the Laravel backend. Right here, I'm gonna pick the Laravel backend, and I'm gonna open it. You can see right here I've already run my Laravel backend, or you can run a Node.js backend by typing npm run start. And then guys, here guys, you can see I've already run mine by typing php artisan save command. And then here we are going to create our first action. Within the create.user action file, we are going to create a function. We are going to export it first. Export function create user. It is going to take an input of iRegister input interface. I'm going to type it with iRegister input interface, and it's going to return a promise. And within the promise, we are going to pass this function. It is going to pass it a parameter, resolve and reject function, and it is going to return an asynchronous function. And right here, we are going to pass here try catch. We need to catch the error if we got an error. If our promise failed to fulfill, we are going to reject an error. And right here, I'm going to use fetch API, and right here, I'm going to create a const data, and then here, right here, I'm going to name it res. And right here, I'm going to pass here await. We are going to await because the fetch function returns a promise, and we need to await for the data. We are going to, the second parameter is going to be an object. The first one, I'll pass here the method. We are going to interact with the post HTTP verb, and then it is going to take the errors. And we need to specify which kind of content we need to send to the server. Content type application/JSON. and the body, we need to stringify the body into JSON format. And then right here, we just convert the input value of the input to JSON format. And then right here, we need to await for the data by creating a constant data and res.json. And right here, guys, we need to resolve the data. Yeah. And then right here, guys, the next thing we have to do, we have to pass here the URL. I've already created a variable right here. I have it. I name it app. And then I'm gonna get into my source folder and create another folder. I'm gonna name it helper. And here I'm gonna create a file app like this, app.ts. We're gonna create in a constant like this. It is to Euro, Laravel base Euro. This is the Laravel base Euro that runs on port 8000 and Node.js base Euro that runs on port 3000. Laravel API base Euro, the /API and Node API base Euro. We are going to use these constants within the create user action. And right here, I'm gonna pass here template. Literal, I'm passing back ticket, and then I'm gonna call this constant and import it. Right here, just import it, and then I need to get access to Laravel API. Right here, Laravel API base Euro, and right here, I'm gonna tap /register like this. And then we're going to get into the create user page and call this function. It is a promise and pass here data, and then I'm gonna wait for it and then create user, and it takes an input of register. We're gonna pass it register to value because it is a type of register input interface. Now you can see when we over the data function right here, it is of unknown type. We need to specify the type for our function. And right here, I'm gonna tap our promise. I'm gonna create another type, and I'm gonna export it first. Type register response type, and then I'm gonna pass here the user and say name. It is going to return the name and email, but also it returns the message. It is a type of string. You can see on the doc, this is the response type. Right here, I'm going to remove the password because it doesn't return the password. I'm going to remove it. And right now, I need to get access to the name and email. And I'm gonna tap our promise. And right here, you can see right now, if we over the create user function, it returns a promise of unknown value. And then right here, I'm gonna tap our promise. I'm gonna pass here register response type alias. Now, if we get into the register page again and we over the data function, you can see right now the infers it to be a type of register response type. And that is better because we know which kind of content that we are going to get access to. And right here, I'm gonna console.log first, console.log data.message, and try to check in the browser if we are going to create a user. And then I'm gonna get into the browser and inspect to see if we are going to get a message within the console and try to refresh again. And right here, I'm gonna pass here John. And right here for the name, it is going to be John11 at gmail.com, and click on register. You can see within the console, we are getting a message right here. Let me zoom. Your account was created. And within the network tab, you can see we just sent, let me do this. We just sent a payload. Let me show you the payload, the header. Let me show you the request right here. If I click on request, this is the request that we are sending. Let me do this, clean the console and try to register another user. And then right here, I'm gonna click on register. You can see, yeah, we just sent, this. You can see this is the payload, the data that we are sending to the server, the email, name and password, and the response type. They are sending us the name, email, and also the message. You can see right here, it doesn't have the password field. but also we have the ID. We need to get access to it. And then right here, I'm not getting to again within the create user.ts action, and then I'm gonna add right here an ID, and it is a number. And also we need to add another thing, guys. We need to, when we click on this button, we need to add a spinning on it, because right here, let me show you something. I have a bootstrap button right here, and if I copy it within the register button under the, let me comment this first. Let me do this, and then you're going to see it. You can see right now we have a button and a spinning icon. We need, when we process this query, we need we need that our loading icon show up, but also we need to disable the button, the state of the button. And also we need to display the message with toast notification. And again, we need to install toast notification. You can see right here, when you're going to tap npm toast notification, you're going to land on this page of npmjs.com. And then you're going to see right here, they ask you a question. Are you using Vue 3? This is the question. And then you can see right here, there's a link, check out Vue toast notification. You're going to move on this repo. And right here, you can see this is the steps that we need to follow in order to add Vue toast notification within a Vue app. And then I'm going to copy this and get into the main.ts file right here within the main.ts and copy this code right here. I need to remove this, and then I need to add this right here, app that use toast notification. We just pass the option. And also, guys, you can see on the doc, guys, you can see right here we have a bunch of property right here. Let me scroll down. You're going to see on this table, we have a bunch of property that we need to pass to a toast notification function. And I've already prepared that. We are not going to spend time on it. And I have a function that we're going to put in a file. Yeah, I'm gonna copy it. I've already do it. And within the source folder, within the helper, I'm gonna create a file, toast. I'm gonna pass here toast notification.ts, and then I'm gonna paste the content. And you can see right here we have two functions, show error and success message. We are going to call the show error when we got an error from the server. We need to display an error, and success when we just fulfilled our request successfully from the server. We are going to call the success message. And then I'm gonna get into the register page. And right here, I'm going to call I'm gonna remove the console.log, and right here I'm gonna pass here show success. I'm gonna call success message function. And then, guys, we need to wrap it in within a try catch block if we got an error. And then right here I'm gonna call the show error. And if we over the error, it is a type of any. And right here, if I do error that message, we're going to get an error because it takes a type of a string. The show error function takes a string, and you can see right here the type of error, it is unknown. And then we are going to use type assertion to assert it to an error. We are going to do as we already talked about it when we learned TypeScript, and as error. And then the error disappear because the error interface provides a message property. And then, guys, we are going to format our documents. Now we need to create a base button. Right here, we need to create a base button. We are going to get into the component and create another global component base, and I pass here base btn.view. And then within the base btn.view, I've already prepared also a boilerplate for that. I'm gonna copy this code right here, and then I'm gonna explain you how it works. And then right here, let me do this. And then here, guys, you can see right here our base button component has three property: label, loading, and icon. And right here, you can see we have the disabled attribute, and we pass it the loading prop. And this button, it is going to be disabled when the loading status, the loading property, it is going to be to true. And our right here, our spinning icon, it is right here. It is going to show up when the loading property is going to be to true, because right here we are passing it a if condition. And right here we are checking if it is different, it is false. We are going, if it is true, it is still to true. If it is false right here, different from true, we are going to show the label. This is how it works, guys. And if I get into the register page, I need to call it right here. And then I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this base, like this base btn, and then it is going to have the loading property right here. We're going to pass here the loading, and then loading like this. And then it is going to have a label, and the label, we are going to assign it register, and then we need to create the loading variable right here. Above the use validate function, I'm gonna create another constant loading, and then I'm gonna assign it to ref and pass it to ref. If we over the ref function, you can see right here, they infers it to be a boolean, or we can do this. If it doesn't add a type script, it is going to infers it automatically to a type of boolean. And right here, when we are going to start sending our request to the server, it is going to be to true. When the request from the server, it is going to be finished, we are going to change the status to false. And then if we got an error, we are going to change it to false, so that our backend can stack in a spinning state. And then right here, guys, we need to test if everything it is okay. But before we test, we are going to reset the validation and the input. We are going to do this. That value that resets, we need to get access to the reset function to reset the input. I think you see it. But also we need to reset this register input right here. We are going to assign it. We are going to copy this. Let me copy the register input, that value. We are going to assign it an object, and you can see we are getting an error, and we are going to cast it using as I register input interface, and then the error, it is going to disappear. Now we need to test. We need to import first the base bar and test if everything it is working as expected. We are going to import base bar and base btn from components. We want to pass here at components, and then base btn the view, and then right here I'm going to check. Let me refresh, and let's try to see if we are going to create another user and display the message with toast notification. And right here, I'm gonna pass here another name. Let me pass here Alice, and then here, let me do this. Pass here alice20@gmail.com and register. You can see when we click on our button, yeah, we're getting a message. Your account was created with toast notification. And you can see when our button it is spinning, our button it is disabled, so that the user cannot send 2 requests at a time. Okay, guys, now we need to move to the login endpoints. And again, you're going to see right here, guys, right here on the doc. Let me show you the doc. The login endpoints, we need to send the email password, and this is the response body. It returns name and email plus the token that we are going to store within the local storage. Now let's go ahead, guys, and again we are going to work on another endpoints. Yeah, within the actions, I'm now getting to the create user action and copy this content. Yeah, this content, and getting to the login that user.ts and paste it right here. And right here, I'm gonna pass here login. It is going to be a login response. And right here, I'm gonna remove the ID because we are returning the name and email plus the token right here, guys. The token, and that is also the token. Also, we need to provide. I'm gonna add another thing from the documentation right here. I need to provide here the message, because if we provide a bad email address or password, we need to see a message. I'm gonna add it from the documentation. I'm gonna add it, guys. Don't worry. Right now, it doesn't have it. We should pass here a message. I'm gonna add it when you're going to clone it. And then, guys, right here, I'm going to create a login interface and pass here to the login user and pass here this login user and here to type our function. And here I'm going to change the path and import the app constants. And right here, everything it is okay. Now we are going to get into the register page and copy something like we are going to copy this try catch, and then we're going to get into the login page and paste it on this if statement. And right here, I'm gonna create first the loading variable. I'm gonna assign it false. We need to import the show success message, and we need to import the base bar. And I'm gonna get into right in this file and copy the base bar and components and import it within the login page. And also we need to call the login user function, and then we are going to pass it this input right here. We're going to change it to login input. Yeah, like this, login input, and then we need to change to this to the input tag. Yeah, we need to change it. And then right here we need to pass here the base bar n. I'm not copy this base bar n right here. Let me remove this stuff right here, guys. You're going to clone the code. You can just follow and see how it works, or you can just practice along. And right here, I'm gonna pass here the button and change the label to login. Yeah, like this, guys. And then we need to import also the CkEditor. And right here, I'm gonna pass here login input and type it to login input interface. And right here, let me pass here login input. And the response type right here, I'm gonna get into if we over the data variable right here, it is a type of void. We need to type the login function. We're gonna get within the login.user, and right here you can see when we over, you need to type it with login response type, not login, like this, guys. And then I think everything it is clear. If we get into the register, the login page, and then right here we have the possibility to edit the message. It's still the data, the void type. Let me do this login. Let me see what is the issue. We need to import the login, export it. Right here, login user. It takes an input of login, and if we over it, it returns a promise. Yeah, I don't know why we are getting an error within the login page. Maybe we need to remove it. Let me see. And right here, I'm going to call the function login user, like this. Let me look for it. Yeah, you can see I got the issue right here. We are passing here login user, and within the create action we are passing login user. Right here I'm gonna pass here log user to avoid the error, and right here I'm gonna pass here login user, or I'm gonna pass here submit login form, submit login. And then right here we need to pass here login input that value, like this. And then we need to call this function right here. Yeah, like this, guys. And then here, let's try to see if it works. I'm going to get into the console. Guys, you need to get into the console every time you try to debug something. And then I'm gonna try to log a user and pass bad credential to see if we are going to get an error. And try to send. Yeah, you can see right here we are getting an error. A status of 401 an authenticated user, and you can see the message invalid Yeah, you can see message, email or password invalid. And we got a property too is logged false. And we need to add it to our function right here. We are going to add to login response type is logged. I'm gonna copy it. Let me copy it, guys. And then right here, I'm not copied. Yeah, it's logged false. And then I need to add it right here. It's logged false. It is a type of boolean. Guys, you can see this is the login response type. It is not on the doc. Before I provide, I put the link down in description. I'm going to add these things. I'm going to update the documentation, the API documentation. Don't worry. And then right here is logged false. And then within the login page, and right here, I'm going to check this. I'm going to do this. If data that is logged, if it is true, we are going to reset the login inputs. And also we are going to set the user data to the local storage. Local storage that sets item. You're going to set the data item, and then you're going to say user data. And then we are going to stringify this data. We are going to JSON stringify. Yeah, like this. And then we are going to convert JavaScript value to a text, JSON stringify. And then right here, guys, if the user doesn't provide a valid password, if it is false, and then right here, I'm gonna pass here if data is true, if the user it is logged in, we are going to show this. Else, we are going to show an error. We are going to pass it this function right here. We're going to show the message. And then right here, I'm going to pass it the show error. And right here, I'm going to pass here the data. And then if we try to click again on the login and we provide bad credentials, we are going to see the message. Yeah, email password invalid. This is the message with a red color. Email password, it is invalid. And if the email and password of a user is valid, we need to redirect to the admin page. We're going to add here window that location that href, and then we are going to redirect to the admin page. And then right here, guys, we need to get into the admin folder. We're going to create an entry point for the admin folder because the admin folder is going to have pages like CreatePost. We are going to have another page that is going to allow us to display a list of all created posts. And then right here, I'm gonna pass here and I'll say admin page. It is going to be the entry point admin page that view. And then we're going to have a page dashboard that page like this that view. And we are going to create another page, create post that view. We're going to have another page, PostList page like this, the view. And then guys, I'm gonna add a boilerplate within the admin page because I've already prepared it and it is a CSS code and HTML. I'm gonna copy the contents and paste in within the admin page, which is going to be the entry point because I'm not going to focusing on the design parts because actually we have more whole lot of pre-made template. You can go pick it out on the internet and working in. And then guys, you can see within the main tag, we have the router view component and we just adding a transition. We need to add a little transition when we are switching between our pages. And the name of our transition is fade, mode is out in. And then we just add a small CSS right here. It is going to do all of that for us. You're going to copy it. When we are going to switch between pages, we're going to have a small transition. And then we need to register the admin page within the router because it is the entry point for other pages are going to be passing the router view components. And then we're going to get into the router. You can see right now we have the off routes, and then I'm gonna copy this. Let me refactor this for these routes, guys. Let me show you. If you're working on a big app, you need to create a routes. And then within the routes, you can create a constant. I'm gonna name it off routes like this, .ts. And then I'm copy the content, this object right here, and I paste in within this object and then export. I'm gonna name it export cons of routes like this. And then I'm gonna assign it this object right here. Let me copy this. And then I'm gonna get into the of routes and assign it to the of routes variable right here. And we are going to export this of routes variable. And if you have another routes that you need to add within the of routes, you can go within the of routes.ts file and add it right here. And then I'm not getting to the right here. I need to do this. I need to go out the routes folder. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna add this in order to reach these pages. And then I'm gonna I'm gonna go within the index file, and then I'm gonna pass the of routes right there, and then I'm going to call it. I'm going to import it, and again we're going to create another folder, another file. We are going to name it admin routes like this .ts, and then I'm gonna copy the content within the of routes and then paste in within the admin. We can pass here admin routes, and then right here I'm gonna pass here admin. For the name, it is going to be the name admin, and we need to get access within the admin folder and to the admin page. And then right here I'm going to get access to the login page, to the dashboard page first. I'm gonna pass here admin, because when we need to tap when we are going to tap /admin within the URL, we are going to land on the dashboard page, and pass here dashboard page, that view like this, and here admin. And then we are going to import the admin routes within the index.ts file. You can pass it right there and import it from the routes folder. And you can see right now our index.ts, it is clean. And then guys, we are going to go into the dashboard page. I'm gonna pass here an H1 and try to test if everything it is working when we are going to click on the button of the login button. And I'm gonna pass here dashboard page like this, dashboard page. And then we are going to move to the admin area. And then right here I'm gonna provide bad credential. Yeah, good credential. You can see right here we just redirecting to the dashboard page, and we need to add a design for that. And you can see right now, as the admin page, it is the entry point for that. We are going to create a component. We're gonna name it navbar, and this component, it is going to be situated within the admin folder because it belongs to the admin area. I'm gonna create another folder right here, components. I'm not going to put it within the components right here. This folder, this components source component, this component folder right here, it is going to hold components that is going to be accessible within the entire app. And right here, I'm gonna pass in only component that is going to be accessible only within the admin folder. And right here, I'm gonna create a component. I'm gonna name it navbar and create a navbar view. But also, I have a boilerplate for that. And then I'm gonna copy it. I'm gonna copy the content of the navbar plus the CSS, and then I'm gonna copy it and paste it within the navbar view. You can see right now this is the navbar. Let me explain you how it works. And right here you can see right now I'm gonna comment this event that we have right here. And right here, I'm gonna remove this event right here. I think you know all of this stuff. And then guys, you can see right here, I create a constant navigation. It is an array of routes, and it takes the name, dashboard, the link, and the icon of each menu. And then right here, guys, and right here, I just pass the router link. Just use the router link and iterate through the navigation variable. And then right here, we are going to get access to the nav.name. Right here, we just pass here nav.name. And right here, to, because the router link component takes the to property, we need to specify the path. It is going to take nav.link. The nav.link, it is this post when we need to move to the post list, create post page. We are going to pass it a nav.link. This is how it works, guys. And then we are going to go again within the admin page and import this component. Right now, you can see I'm not remove this. Just import the nav button, and then right here, I'm going to create the script tag, pass here the length TS as usual, and set up attributes. And then right here, I'm going to import the nav bar like this from components. I'm gonna get into the component and import navbar.view. And then here, guys, if we go within the browser and refresh again, you can see we are getting an error. They say that the navbar.view, view.view, this is the error. We are going to fix it. We need to remove the view, and then we got another error. We need to add also, you can see right here, the error say that within our navbar component, we need to add a logo. Right here, we doesn't have a logo within the navbar component. Right here, we have a logo right here. It go within the asset folder, and that's logo. And right now, I'm gonna look for a logo on my computer. Let me try to pick a logo right here. And then I don't have a logo right here, but right now I don't have a logo, but I'm going to comment this stuff right here. I'm going to comment this logo, and then I'm going to do this. Yeah, you can see we have a beautiful menu. You're going to copy the code. You can go or pick a pre-made template and work in. This is how it works, guys. We work on the logic part, not the design. If you are UI designer, you can code everything yourself. And then, guys, right now you can see we have our menu. It is right here, my forum, and right here we need to pass here the logo. Here we are going to pass here a small span, and we are going to say that a logo right there. A logo right here, dashboard, create post page, article page, and logout. Now let's go ahead and create the CreatePost page, and then we're gonna move to other pages. And then first of all, we need to register this page within the roots. We're gonna go into the admin roots.ts file, and then we're going to create another object. It is going to point to the CreatePost page, the view, and then right here, I'm gonna pass here CreatePost like this, because right here, when we are going to click on this menu right here, you can see we need to move to create post page. And then, guys, we are going to pass here create post page like this. And for the name, we're going to pass it create post, and then we're going to move to create post the view page. And right here, I'm going to pass here create post page like this page, and then add this page within after the CreatePost page, the view like this. And then we need to pass in a small design, a bootstrap design. I have a boilerplate for that. And then I'm gonna get into the CreatePost page and press the content. And right here, I'm going to copy this. Let me look for the content. This is the content that I have to pass in. And right here, it is a div row. And within the div row, we have a card. If we go on the CreatePost page, you can see right here, we have a card. And then we are going to pass it a title. Let me pass here div car. And then here, add another div and add in a class car header. And adding and I pass here CreatePost. And then right here, we need to add inputs. And to add inputs, we are going to use the header components. And I'm gonna go within the all folder, and then we are going to copy something right here. We are going to copy this component right here, header, and then move it to the CreatePost page and paste it under within the form tag. And right here, we are going to pass here the the title and the post content. And right here, before I go further, I need also to import the validation. I'm gonna copy all this stuff right here and move it to the CreatePost page, and then we're going to modify the content within the script tag. We're going to remove this. You're going to let use validate required. We're going to add we are going to let the required property. We're going to use ref error, and then we're going to remove all of this stuff right here because we are not going to use the login function and the login input. And then right here, we are going to change the login input to the post input like this. It is going to have the title and the post content. Post content. Cause I pass here the title and post content because if you go to the documentation of our API right here, let me show you on GitHub. This is when we need to create a post. We are going to pass it, the title. This is the request body. We need to pass it the title and post content. And for the response body, it is going to return a message. And then we are going to pass it post content. And we're going to create an action within the admin folder. We are going to name it called actions. And then we're going to say right here, create post.ts like this. We're going to create in an interface export like this export interface, and then I create post inputs, and this interface it has two property. The title it is a string like this, the title, and the post contents like this, it is a string too. And then we are going to use it within the CreatePost page. Like this. Let me zoom out, and then we are going to pass it right here to tap our ref function. And then right here, we are going to remove the email attribute. And then right here, we're going to pass here the title. And right here, the post content. We're going to need it. Post content, it is going to be required. And right here, we are going to pass it to the use validates composable. And right here, we are going to pass here create post. And then here I'm gonna pass submit post. And then here I'm going to remove the try catch block, this, because we are not going to use it right now. And then we can let the loading property because we're going to use it later on. And also we are going to bound the submit post function to our form tag. Now pass here the submit event submit that prevents, and then I'm gonna assign it the function submit. And then right here I'm gonna pass here the post input like this. This is our input, post inputs. And then we need to get access to the title. And right here I'm gonna pass here post title like this for the label post title. And right here I'm gonna pass here the title. And you can see we have imported the header component and the base bar and component because we are going to use it. And right here, we are going to install Vue CkEditor. And then we are going to go again at the documentation of Vue CkEditor. First of all, if you haven't installed Vue CkEditor, you're going to copy this command. Once you copy this command, we need to add Vue CkEditor to a Vue instance. We are going to do this. We are going to import CkEditor. We're going to copy this and move within the main.ts file, and put it right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna import it, and then we need to add it to the Vue instance by passing app.use like this. It is added, and then we need to add it within our CreatePost page. We are going to use this component CkEditor. We're going to copy this, and then we're going to go again within our CreatePost page right here. We are going to pass it right here. We are going to enclose it within the header component because we need to display the header if the user doesn't provide the data for within the CkEditor components. And right here, I'm gonna copy the label. It is going to be, we are going to pass the label for our header. It is going to be post content, and the another attribute post content. And right here, we need to pass here the editor. And here you can see it takes the editor attributes and the config editor. We're going to copy it on the documentation. And right here, you can see on the configuration, the editor, we are going to pass it. Let's copy it. And you can see the editor data, it takes a tag right here. Let me zoom a little bit. The editor data, it takes a tag. And then right here, this is the configuration editor. Let me copy this. This is the option API style, but we are going to convert it to composition API. But also we need to import the classic editor. I'm gonna copy this first and then press it right here, put it, and then we need to copy now this property that we got right here. Let me copy this property. Yeah, let me move it right here. We need to copy this, and we are going to convert them to view composition API. And then guys, we are going to pass it right here. We're going to pass here the editor. You're going to pass here the editor property. I'm gonna pass it classic editor directly right here, classic editor, like this. And then you can see right here for the V model. For the V model, we are going to pass it the post inputs like this, post input dot content. I'm gonna pass here post content. And editor config, we are going to let it to be an empty object. I'm gonna pass this. Yeah, instead of creating a variable, we are going to pass it this object right here. And then I think everything it is set up. Now we need to test it within the browser if everything it is working as expected. And then I'm gonna go to the CreatePost page, and you can see right here we got a form, post title and post content, and we got our editor. We have the possibility to write in. I'm gonna pass here, I'm gonna say hello world, and then I can select the hello world text and put it, convert it to H1. Everything is working from our editor. And then I need to add for the post title label and post content. I'm gonna put it within a bold style. And right here, I'm gonna add right here, I'm gonna get into the area component because is where it is located, our components. I'm gonna get into the components, the main within the components folder, the editor, and then right here, I'm gonna enclose our label tag within the B tag. I'm gonna pass here, I'm gonna say that I want that the label to be in the bold style. You can see right here, we got the post title and post content. Now we need to add the button. Yeah. For the button, we need to go again to the CreatePost, and then right here we're going to pass here our base button, base btn, and as usual, it is the label. We need to pass it the label like this. The label is CreatePost, but also it is the loading property. I'm gonna pass here loading, and then I'm gonna assign it loading. Right now, the loading property it is false. It is false. And we have our button CreatePost, and we need to add a space between the post content form, post content tag, and the base button. And right here, I'm gonna add right here a space. I'm gonna add here a break tag, and then we just have a space, and we can create a post right here. We have the possibility to add even within our CkEditor a table. Now we need to create another page, dashboard. We need to add here a car. I have a boilerplate for that. And then I'm gonna copy this content right here and press in within the dashboard page. This is the dashboard page right here. I'm gonna press in this content. And on the dashboard, we are going to display a list of posts. You can see right here, 12. And I'm gonna try to put it, I'm gonna enclose, I'm gonna wrap this a car within a class, a div with a class of row, and then I'm gonna say the container it is going to be a class of core medium 4 like this. And then yeah, we're gonna have a small car right here. And also I can add here, you can say that we need to let me do this. We need to add a title. For that, I'm gonna put again another row, and right here I'm gonna pass here div, another row right here, and then I'm gonna pass here row and say I'm gonna pass here an h3 and say dashboard like this. Now guys, let's create the articles page where we are going to display a list of created posts. And then here I've already prepared a boilerplate for that. I have a table, and then I'm gonna create a table and pass here within the admin folder, within the component folder. I'm gonna pass here post table. It is a component, and then it is 6 column, the ID, image, title, and then right here and the ID, image, title, upload image, it is going to contain a button that is going to allow us to upload an image for a post, and edit and delete button right here, you can see. And then we are going to use it within the post list page. We are going to pass here the template, and then we're going to pass in a class, a div of class row, and we're going to say it is this div that is enclosed within another div of which has a class of row. It is going to have a core medium 4, core medium 10, and then we're going to import in our post table. And then right here I'm going to pass here the script tag, and it is the length ts and setup attributes. And then we are going to import the post table component from pass here. We're going to import it from slash component and then slash post table view. And now we need to pass here this component post table, and then we need to register this post table within the, we need to register this table with this post list page within the router. We're gonna get into the router, within the router right here, guys, and then we are going to pass here post list page, and then right here we're going to pass here post list like this. Let's try to see what we got, which kind of path we have within the navbar component. We have here post list. This is the link, and then we are going to pass it within the within the admin roots. We're going to pass here post list, and for the name it is going to be post list. And then right here we're going to pass here create post list page, and then if we go within the browser, and then we are going to get on this page article, and right here you can see we are displaying a table, and when we need to, we can put it within a car. And then I'm gonna put our table within a car. I'm gonna pass here div and class of car, and then right here I'm gonna pass here the class of car body like this, car body. And then I'm gonna register our table within it, and then I'm gonna pass here div class car header, and I'm gonna pass here post list. And then if we get into the browser, you can see right now we have our table. It is enclosed within a bootstrap car. Now we just finished the design. Now we need to secure the admin page, and this is the part 1 of our final project video. And we need to move to another part. For the next part, it is going to be the part 2. We are going to get started with refactoring. Here, guys, you can see when I get into the actions folder, let me get into the O folder. Within the actions, create user.ts. You can see we are importing, we are using return no promise, and every time return no promise. Within the login, return no promise. This is we are repeating ourselves. Now we are going to create a function that is going to do all of that. We are going to say make http function, make http rec. I'm going to create a kind of function in the next video that is going to replace all of that. We are going to enclose it within a composable. We are going to see how we can put in practice composable, what we learned in previous video. We are going to refactor, and again we are going to secure admin, our admin area, our admin page. Then we're going to create a post and other actions, and then we're going to move within the blog folder. It is going to be the last one, and I see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.